Franklin Delano Roosevelt, or FDR, holds a unique place in American history. He is the only president to serve more than 2 terms. Elected 4 times, he led the nation through the Great Depression and World War II. His presidency, from 1933 to his death in 1945, was a time of great change and challenge. Roosevelt's first election victory in 1932 came at a time of national crisis. The Great Depression had gripped the country. Millions were unemployed. People had lost their homes and savings. Roosevelt promised a new deal for the American people. He offered hope and a plan for recovery. Roosevelt's leadership during this difficult period was crucial. He implemented a series of programs and reforms aimed at economic recovery. These programs provided jobs, relief, and a sense of security for millions. His actions helped to restore faith in the government and the economy. Roosevelt's ability to connect with the American people was remarkable. His fireside chats, broadcast over the radio, were a source of comfort and inspiration. He spoke directly to their concerns, explaining complex issues in simple terms. This direct communication style made him immensely popular. As the world plunged into another global conflict, Roosevelt's leadership was tested once more. The attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941 thrust the United States into World War II. Roosevelt rallied the nation to fight for freedom and democracy. He mobilized the American industrial might to support the war effort. Roosevelt understood the importance of strong alliances. He worked closely with British Prime Minister Winston Churchill and Soviet leader Joseph Stalin. Together they formed the Grand Alliance that ultimately defeated Nazi Germany and Imperial Japan. Roosevelt's diplomatic skills were crucial in maintaining this alliance. Throughout the war, Roosevelt remained a beacon of hope for the American people. His wartime speeches, such as the For Freedom speech, articulated the ideals for which the nation was fighting. He spoke of freedom of speech, freedom of worship, freedom from want, and freedom from fear. These freedoms became rallying cries for people around the world. Roosevelt's leadership during World War II was instrumental in the Allied victory. He guided the nation through its darkest hour, providing steady and resolute leadership. His commitment to international cooperation and his unwavering belief in democracy helped to shape the post-war world. Section 4. The 2-term limit. Roosevelt's unprecedented 4 terms as president raised concerns about the potential for an abuse of power. Prior to his presidency, there was no constitutional limit on the number of terms a president could serve. George Washington had set a precedent by serving only 2 terms. This tradition had been followed by every subsequent president. However, Roosevelt's long tenure, coupled with the extraordinary circumstances of the Great Depression and World War II, led some to question the wisdom of unlimited terms. They argued that it could lead to an unhealthy concentration of power in the presidency. They also feared it could undermine democratic principles. In 1947, Congress passed the 22nd Amendment to the Constitution. This amendment limited presidents to 2 terms in office. The 22nd Amendment was ratified by the states in 1951. This amendment formalized the 2-term tradition established by Washington. It ensured that no future president could serve more than 2 terms. The passage of the 22nd Amendment was a direct response to Roosevelt's presidency. It reflected a desire to prevent the potential for abuse of power. It aimed to safeguard the democratic principles of limited government and regular transitions of power. Section 5. A sudden transition. In April 1945, as World War II was drawing to a close, President Roosevelt died suddenly from a cerebral hemorrhage. His death shocked the nation and the world. He had been president for 12 years, leading the country through some of its most challenging times. Now, with the war still raging, a new president would have to take charge. Vice President Harry S. Truman was sworn in as president just hours after Roosevelt's death. Truman, a relatively unknown figure from Missouri, had only been vice president for a few months. He had not been privy to Roosevelt's inner circle or wartime planning. He faced the daunting task of leading the nation through the final months of the war and the uncertain peace that would follow. The transition was abrupt and challenging. Truman had to quickly come up to speed on the complexities of the war. He had to make critical decisions about the use of the atomic bomb, the post-war occupation of Germany and Japan, and the emerging Cold War with the Soviet Union. Despite the challenges, Truman rose to the occasion. He displayed decisiveness and courage in his leadership. He oversaw the defeat of Japan and the establishment of the United Nations. Truman laid the groundwork for the Cold War containment policy that would define American foreign policy for decades to come. Section 6. The enduring legacy of FDR. Franklin D. Roosevelt's presidency left an enduring legacy on the United States. His New Deal programs transformed the role of government in American life. They provided a safety net for the most vulnerable citizens and laid the foundation for the modern welfare state. His leadership during World War II helped to secure the Allied victory and shape the post-war world. Roosevelt's presidency also had a profound impact on the office itself. His 4 terms in office led to the passage of the 22nd Amendment, limiting future presidents to 2 terms. This change ensured that no president would ever again hold office for as long as he did. Despite the controversies surrounding some of his policies, Roosevelt is widely regarded as one of the greatest presidents in American history. His leadership during times of national crisis, his commitment to social justice, and his unwavering belief in democracy continue to inspire generations of Americans. His legacy remains a testament to the power of leadership, the importance of government action, and the enduring spirit of the American people. If you like this video, subscribe now and join us as we unravel the mysteries of America's most famous address.